Hey everybody, this is Gary with Vets Helping Vets Real Estate. Today in this video, I wanted to talk about how you can make your offer stand out from other offers and get your offer accepted. And what's really cool about this video, not only is it for veterans, this strategy will work for everyone. So let's jump into the video. So today I'm here with Steve.
Hi, I'm Steve Paratori with Cross Country Mortgage. Thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Steve. And Steve was nice enough to let us be in his office today, so it's a great location to do this video. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
So as Steve and I were talking through some of the deals that we're seeing that are not getting accepted. So these days you're seeing multiple offers on homes and they're not getting accepted. And there's a variety of reasons why they don't get accepted, but let's boil it down. Typically, a deal is made or broken with the three contingencies on a deal, and that's your loan, your appraisal, and your inspection. So Steve and I are going to talk about each one of those and how we can make your offer stand out, each one of those contingencies. So let's first talk about the loan contingency. And Steve's an expert in this field, so he's going to walk us through how you can make your loan contingency stand out on a deal.
Yeah, so there's, I would say there's two ways. One is you want to work with a lender that can close fast. And we are able to do that. Like instead of a 30-day transaction, we're looking at like 15 to 10.
So let me interrupt you there. So when we can close that fast on a loan, you're almost the same as a cash buyer.
Yeah, we can compete with a cash offer because we've closed deals in 10 days. 15 days is a little bit less stressful, I think, for all parties involved.
Got it.
But a 10-day close is possible, and we can go into more detail about that.
Yeah.
But a lot of banks, lenders really do need a 30-day or have a hard time even meeting all the requirements in 30 days. And so to work with a lender that has a reputation of being able to close faster can obviously put your offer at give you an advantage.
So you have the ability to close a loan that quick if we need to.
Yeah, so I literally closed a purchase transaction last month in 14 days, which that's fast. There's some lenders out there that take days and days to order the appraisal, and it might take them 14 days to get the appraisal in.
So if I'm a prospective buyer who's interested in that, what's the process for doing that?
So we run fast, but we also have a special program, we call it Fast Track, which enables the borrower to get pre-underwritten. So that means that, I think in most cases, a mortgage professional, loan officer, or whatever term they're using, is looking at everything and saying, oh, okay, yeah, you're approved. But the underwriter never sees the file until it goes into escrow.
Got it.
So one of the ways that we can really fast track this process is we will have the underwriter review the credit, the income, and everything so that the borrower is literally fully approved. And all we need now is the property information to have a deal close.
So what's interesting about that, if you're making an offer on a home and your loan contingency is only 10 or 15 days, then you're in competition with a cash buyer, and that actually will put you ahead of other buyers who are doing traditional financing, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. If most people doing traditional financing are going to need longer to close, and we have a proven track record of being able to close faster, so this will absolutely help for those sellers that want to close fast.
Cool. All right, that's really interesting. I didn't, that's something that a lot of people don't know, so that's good that we went over that one piece of information. So now let's talk about the inspection contingency. And then we're going to talk also about for veterans as well, because on VA loans, there's also the pest. But let's first talk about the inspection contingency. So typically on an inspection contingency, on most offers, I see between 14 and 30 days on an inspection contingency. Are you seeing that as well?
Yeah, I think 17 is the day, that's sort of a standard in the industry, which note 17 days for the inspection to be due. 3 days before that, we closed on it, right? So that's why it's fast.
Right. So here are some strategies that I've employed on the inspection. So if we're going out to a home and it looks, first, if the seller's already done the inspection, you don't need to do it. You accept their inspection, so you can actually waive the inspection contingency, and that could be another piece to make your deal more attractive to the seller if you're waiving the inspection contingency. Sometimes they don't do one, but if the property presents well and the property shows clean, you and I could have a conversation possibly about waiving the inspection contingency if we feel it's going to be very competitive and you really want that home. A strategy would be to waive that inspection contingency. Have you seen that as well on some of your deals? Okay.
Agreed.
Now let's talk about for vets. So vets, there's one portion that we can't waive, which is the pest, correct?
Correct. But we do have a very, this is something that I learned recently after 23 years in this business. There's a way to do a VA loan and not actually get a pest report. That's
what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a form that we can get a pest report company to go out, visually inspect the home, and fill out the form and just indicate on the form. The form is called the NPMA 33. And all they do is indicate that there is no infestation, there's no pests, problems with this property. And then we can take that in lieu of a pest report, which means we don't need a pest report. We don't need to show that anything's been cleared. So that can save time and money for our client.
So you generate that form,
Mm-hmm.
you provide that form to the pest inspector,
Mm-hmm.
and he takes that form to the property, and all he checks is no infestation, and then you're good to go.
Correct.
Okay. And I know for a fact that I can get most pest companies out to your property within 5 days. So that's another piece on you being able to present an attractive offer to a seller, that when you can close that piece of the pest that quick. The other piece of the inspection is that if you don't feel good about waiving the inspection contingency, we can still do it pretty quick. I've had inspections done within 3 days of making an offer on a place. So when we're making an offer on a place, we can actually, close the gap on how long it would take to clear that inspection contingency. Again, making that more attractive to that seller when we make an offer. Okay, the appraisal. So from the VA standpoint, you can't waive the appraisal contingency, correct?
Correct. You need an appraisal, which I look at the appraisal as a way for me to make sure that my client isn't paying more for a property than they should be.
Okay.
And sometimes it'll open up an opportunity to negotiate the price down if that was a possibility. But yeah, we are not able to waive the appraisal like with some other loan programs. It is possible.
But how long? But typically on a VA appraisal, how long would it take?
So we can rush the appraisal, which is what we would suggest doing if we were trying to close a transaction quickly, which is a cost of maybe $100 or $200 or $300 more than normal, which isn't much in the scheme of buying a home. So a rush appraisal, we would expect it to come back within 2 days.
2 days.
I've had my previous fast close transaction, we literally had the appraisal ordered the same day we got the purchase agreement ratified. And then the appraiser went out the following day, and we had the appraisal the following day. So it was like a little over 24-hour turnaround, which is about as fast as it could possibly be.
Got it. So for a VA buyer who's making an offer, they can actually shorten the length of time for their appraisal contingency down to 5 days.
Yeah, I think we had a 5-day on that one, and we received it. Now, we need to receive the finished appraisal, and then we need to review it. So our collateral underwriting, which is the underwriters who look at the property, they have to review it. That takes 24 hours. So if we can get the appraisal in 24 hours, we review it in 24 hours, within 3 days, we could release the appraisal contingency. But that's everything working in.
So a vet making an offer on a home could be super competitive. Also, how about a conventional buyer who's using conventional financing? Can they waive their appraisal?
So they could only waive the appraisal if we have a waiver from the desktop underwriting system. So that means we run everything through, and a good example would be if a client has a large down payment. Mm-hmm. Like I have a client making an offer today at 53% down.
Okay.
I will probably be able to get that appraisal waived.
Got it.
And that means, again, we save the time and the money. but the client may still want an appraisal.
So for a conventional buyer, there are options to waive the appraisal.
Yeah.
You know, your mileage may vary, but everyone's a little different.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say that the more down payment we have in the transaction, the more likely we could waive the appraisal and not need one.
Okay.
I think the reason that VA does not waive appraisals is simply because it's 100% financing most of the time.
Okay. So we talked about all the facets that go into your offer. You know, we talked about the loan, we talked about the appraisal, we talked about the inspection. But I guess the message that Steve and I are trying to convey is that the way your offer is written will make or break your offer and if it gets accepted. So as we're talking through all these things, any good realtor, any decent lender should be having these conversations with you to make sure your offer is accepted. If you're going out there and you're on your 5th or 6th offer and it's not getting accepted, something could be wrong in the way your offer is structured. That's why it's really, really important that you're having these conversations, really looking at your offer to make sure that it makes sense. In addition, someone like me and Steve would be reaching out to the selling side to the offer that you're making, walking them through the offer, make sure they understand the offer. Simply emailing or digitally sending the offer is not enough. You have to engage the selling side in a conversation to make sure that they understand every aspect of your offer. What do you think of that, Steve?
Totally agreed. Yeah, I have a system. That means when I make an offer with a client, I always reach out by phone and call the listing agent and just offer, any questions, make sure they know that I've completely verified all information from the borrower. And often I get surprised when the listing agent will say, "Wow, you called me." Right. That never happens. I'm always having to call the lender, right. And I say, "Yeah, we just want to, we're all on the same team here." So,
right. And I can tell you from the real estate agent side, when I'm making an offer on your behalf, I am all over that selling agent. I'm calling them, I'm emailing them, I'm texting them to make sure 100% that they got the offer and they understand the offer, if they have any questions about the offer. So it really takes a lot of communication between the buying and the selling side to make sure everything gets done right. So I think that wraps up what we wanted to say about getting your offer accepted, and more importantly, how as a veteran and as a conventional home buyer, you can make your offer stand out and get accepted. It really takes a team to make it happen. You've got a great team here. If you're interested, you can give us a call. We're happy to walk through any scenarios you may have, even if you're not ready right now. We're always happy to have that conversation. And if you liked any of the information in this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Put any comments below. My information is here. Steve's information is there. And thanks a lot. We'll see you on the next video.